Alright guys, we just got the box, but I'm already late for class. Look, 10:30 a.m. I thought it started at 10:45 and it is 10:33. So, gotta run to class, then we can open this up and hopefully get first run in today. Alright guys, I'm back from class now. It's 12:48, about to open this, but look at this. This is what they gave me for lunch. Somebody asked me, what is my strategy to avoid overtraining? It's about under-fueling and not being under-recovered, so my strategy is not only eating this for lunch. This is vegetables and rice. I'm gonna need some more than that. Anyway, let's crack open this box, see how this Wave Rebellion Flash 2. Hey, shout out Running Warehouse, by the way. Bought this with my own money. Hopefully I won't have to be doing that all the time soon, but if you guys are gonna buy new shoes, make sure to do it through Running Warehouse because I will get a commission. It helps keep the channel going. I'll put my link for the Wave Rebellion Flash 2 in the description. Hey, look at that. Wave Rebellion Flash 2 10.5. Let's go. Look at that thing. Boom. It looks a little bit basic, honestly. It looks a little bit basic, but it looks fast. Definitely looks fast. Wow, this bottom EVA foam is a lot softer than I thought. Alright, gonna post this on Instagram to get your take, and then I'm not gonna take it for a first run right now, but I will in a little bit. The rocker on this thing is super aggressive. And look at that, that's one of the most aggressive things because it's this heel cutout here combined with how curved it is up in the forefoot. That's wild. Now the top layer of foam here, it's really soft. It reminds me of Light Strike Pro, at least the revised version of Light Strike Pro. Bottom is probably just about as soft. No, not as soft. The bottom is a little bit less soft than the fuel cell. Yeah, fuel cell. And then the top, both of these foams are a little bit firmer than the fuel cell. Fuel cell is really soft compared to the Light Strike Pro. The Boston 12 feels lighter, which is weird. I thought this was going to be a light shoe. The foam feels almost identical to the Boston 12. And then on the bottom it's, yeah, this is, I'm wondering how similar it's going to be to the Boston 12. It seems like it might be a little bit more flexible, maybe a little bit softer. Also, we got the energy rods in here, and then this is a plastic plate. Not flexible. They're not flexible. This is not a flexible guy. Then we got a race-fitting upper. This is very lightweight. It's like the Speed 3 upper a little bit, but Speed 3 is a little bit stretchier. You see how this is on foot, but it's not stretchy. This is a little bit scratchy. The colorway is very, let's get the Boston out of here. The colorway is very basic. When we saw this at TRE, Charlie thought this was a prototype. She was like, let's not even get B-roll with it because this isn't the real shoe. And would you look at that? It is the real shoe. Doesn't seem Mizuno invests a lot in their marketing or design, so I'm not surprised to see such a bare bones colorway. I would like to see them splash it up a little bit more. This is a very bland colorway to launch with. Outsole coverage is decent here. We got a nice bit on the forefoot and then back here on the lateral area, which is where a lot of the heel strikers are gonna hit. And then on this medial side too. I really wonder how this is gonna run with the Rock Catcher 5000 down in here, because similar to SC Trainer V2, could be a little bit of a rock catching situation. It almost looks like they copied the SC Trainer V2 with this rubber layout. So that is something to note. Come on, Mizuno. We don't copy. We don't copy on this channel. Yeah, overall, pretty clean looking shoe. Interested to see how it runs. I just noticed on these Running Warehouse shoe boxes it says single shoe because they're sending me one pair of shoes. That is highly confusing, but thankfully they did send both the left shoe and the right shoe. Another thing that's interesting and unique about this shoe is that the plate, which I know Mizuno's had plates in their shoes for a long time, but in this one it juts out really far. It's exposed for 80% of the shoe, which is completely different than anything else we have over here. At least if you look at SC Trainer V2, the plate in this thing is buried and you can see it through the bottom. Speed 3, they popularized that winglet concept, but again, it's not going to be exposed throughout. And then Boston 12, you have a little bit exposed with those rods, same as the Speed 3. And then you can see it through that little window on the bottom, but it's not jutting out. But then if you look at this guy on the interior and the exterior, the lateral and the medial side, you see a ton of plastic, which is interesting. I wonder if that or how that affects the ride at all. Maybe it gives it a little bit more rigidity, having it extend all the way to the outside versus something like the Boston 12 with the strategically placed rods has a little bit more flexibility. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to compare. Now I had to get some real lunch. Shake Shack unboxing. Oh, look at that. Look at those fries. It's the perfect balance of crispy and soft. Just like the Velocity Nitro 3. Non-dairy chocolate shake. Good for recovery. Protein, fats, carbs. That's what I tell myself. One burger. Bam! Look at that thing. Crispy onions and everything. These things are fire. And then 2 burgers. So yeah, I'm not feeling this workout tonight with the Wave Rebellion Flash, but if this 2,000 calories or whatever it is right here can bring me back to life, we're going to take these guys to the track and rip some pace in the freezing cold. So, let's see Shake Shack. Let's see what you got. Man, look at that. That's perfect. You got the veggie patty, you got these soft potato buns, you got the crispy onions, and you got those pickles. Alright, Shake Shack 100-mile week review. One bite, everybody knows the rules. Fire. Absolute fire. So we're getting some pretty good questions so far on the Instagram. Some about the midsole geometry, how it compares to Mizuno's other shoes. I think somebody asked about how it compares to the other plated trainers, which I'll do, of course. I'm really curious about whether or not this is going to be easy to run in. Now, that's something that I've talked about before, but if we look at shoes like the Boston 12, this is not the easiest thing to run in compared to especially the SC Trainer V2 here and the Speed 3. This SC Trainer V2 is very easy to run in. The foam is soft. The geometry is friendly for heel striking. You can see at the back here, we got a thick stack of this 40 millimeters. Similar thing in the Speed 3, right? Look at this chunky heel geometry, nice wide base. And while the Speed 3 is a little bit poppier, it's gonna bounce you right off every time. It's not great for running slow. It feels easy to run in. Now, Boston 12, on the other hand, it has a thick heel still, but it's firmer. And it really wants you to land up in this midfoot area or forefoot area, and that's where it's going to feel best. And if you look at the geometry compared to these other two, it doesn't roll you along as much in the heel. And I don't know how clear it is to see just looking at them visually, but as you're running along, because it has such this thick chunk of the EVA back here, it's not the smoothest unless you're running fast. So what I'm curious about with this guy here, if you look at the heel geometry, it is super rockered. It's probably the most rockered out of any of these right here. But the rocker might be so aggressive, and this heel cutout might be so aggressive that, like the Boston 12, it only really feels good to land
up in the forefoot. So that's what I'm curious about. How does it feel at marathon pace, slower than marathon pace, jogging pace? Because one of the great things about these shoes, specifically the top two, is that they feel awesome for everyday runs. They feel awesome for jogging, doing warm-ups in. One of the benefits of this plated training category is that, hey, you don't need to bring your Vomero to the track with you. You don't need to bring your Vomero to the trailhead with you before you go and put on your Alpha Fly for your marathon pace workout. You can do it all in an SC Trainer V2 or in a Boston 12. But does that hold true with the Rebellion Flash? Or do you need to bring the Velocity Nitro, warm up in that, and then put this guy on? So that's one of my main questions that I want to answer tonight, if the food can bring me back to life. Oh, man. The head of security just knocked and dropped off another pack. You guys can guess what's in this one. We are not going to be opening this today. That's like sensory overload. We can't have two new shoes in one video. This Shake Shack is hitting. Burger number 2 here. I don't know how they do it with the burgers, but there's so much umami in them. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Umami.
Yo, shout out to Zach Ritter. He says, how would these shoes work for the track athletes? I think that means we're going to have to take these guys to the track tonight. Alright, I'm really curious how these are going to feel on feet. I'm done with my lunch, so I'm going to try them on and walk around. Now, we do have a walking tour for one of my classes this afternoon of the Duke sports facilities, which is going to be pretty sweet. I am not going to be that guy walking around in the plated shoes, but I will walk around my hotel room and see how they feel. Someone just commented on Instagram that they feel super awkward walking, which I would assume given this canoe bottom that we have. So let's try it out. Alright, here we go! RIP to the Cowboys. Sorry if anybody's a fan. Ooh, wow. That's hilarious. Dude, it just standing, it like wants you to tip back. That is crazy. So this is a shoe where you're gonna have to be just rocking and rolling right up at that forefoot. I can already tell. It feels like it's putting most of my weight, before I put on my other shoe. Feels like it's putting most of my weight right here. At around this part. Whereas in a traditional shoe, like if you're standing, your center of your weight is probably right down here. With this shoe, all of your weight is right here. That is a really weird feel. I kind of like how these look from the top. I wonder if they're going to use this design aesthetic across some of their other shoes. Yeah, super weird. This is hilarious. It just feels so funny. It also feels, you know how people complain about the arch poking out on the Alpha Fly? I didn't have any issue with that in my Alpha Fly 3. But with these, I can feel like something is in the middle. Right here. It feels like there's a lot of pressure on my midfoot. So we'll see how it is landing midfoot. And these, I mean, if I'm doing a marathon pace workout, I'm going to be landing midfoot. The fit is decent though, a little snug. Yeah, my big toe is right up here. It's not the most narrow. Midfoot is a little tight. This is actually my first Mizuno, so we're seeing there's not too much padding in the back. But this is a speed training shoe, so that makes sense. Should we do a little jog? A little jog down the side of the room? Alright guys, we're gonna do a little jog. Like Noah Lyles in here. Ready? On your mark. Get set. Go. Should we go out in the hallway? Gotta make sure I grab my car. That was a little aggressive. Let's go back then. Alright. That was mildly aggressive to do that in the hallway, but these feel really good on fit. There's tons of cushioning. I'm super excited to get these out on the track and see how they do. Also from above, I really like the styling of these. They did a good job. I know I was complaining about the colorway, but they are super clean. It looks a lot better on foot, let me tell you, than it does just right out of the box. Also, I'm breathing hard. I was like Noah Lyles out there. Alright guys, after one hallway run, here is my full review of the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Flash 2. I'm just kidding. Alright guys, I gotta finish doing some editing. Then it's gonna be class, and then we'll get back in here and hit the track.
To be on campus, so we are good on some updates to the
Oh, okay. Undefeated and unscored on for a whole season. They were balling out. Wow, now that's a trophy.
That's so cool.
Hey,
Dude, look at that.
not much cushioning in this.
Yeah,
That's literally a bowl of oranges. That's a fumble. They're really committed to the blue double thing. TV control room. I feel like Metro Boomin. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see how big that is. Those are Jahlil Okafor's LeBron 10s. I don't think they make the Vaporfly in size 17 like that. Jason Tatum. Coach K, most career victories. One last look, man. Talk about a culture of excellence. A lot of winning in here. A lot of winning in here. A lot of banners hanging from the rafters. Alright guys, so we're back from the tour. The gilet is coming off. Shout out to Pickle Barrel. And we're actually gonna go running with my guy Olaf. So I think I'm gonna bring him the Boston 12. Boston 12. A little pep in his step. I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna like these. These are a controversial shoe. Maybe the Velocity Nitro 3 as well. He's running in currently the Zoom Flies, which, as we all know, are a little bit clunky, a little bit heavy. He said he wanted to try something new, and he's about my size. So we're gonna bring the Boston 12 Velocity Nitro 3, see how he likes him. I'm gonna get changed. It is super cold out there. I think it's about 30 degrees. They had us freezing our behinds off on that tour. So I'm gonna bundle up. I don't know if I brought my gloves down here, and I've just been doing treadmill running, so I might be freezing my little fingies off, but we're gonna get these beautiful Wave Rebellion Flash 2s on for the first run. Let's go. The best part about Duke is the free included in tuition snacks. Alright, we're gonna have to go heavy layers on this guy. Ah, yes! Shout out Train Matthews. If you need a CrossFit gym, go to Train Matthews. Let's go with the Red Sox. Spice it up a little bit. This is the question. Pants or shorts? I think we're gonna go pants. Not trying to be cute. By the way, guys, it is now Wednesday at 6:57 p.m. I have not charged this since Sunday morning when I took it off before going to class at around 9 or 10 a.m. and it is at 70%. That is wild to me as a recovering Apple Watch user. 70% after 3 days of use. My mind is blown. 4 days of use. Those are both on the firmer side. I could also do the SC Trainer V2. He might get along with those better. Maybe we'll do all three. We can get his thoughts on all three. This is a good spectrum of shoes for him to try. So he's run a few marathons before, but he's not super into nerdy shoes. So we got one simple, firmer, classic daily trainer, one firmer plated trainer, fast and firm plated trainer, and then one soft plated trainer. This is probably the slowest of the bunch. All right, let's do it. A little bit less weird lacing these up the second time around.
Muffin on the track. Muffin on the track.